Hey everybody, it's day 4. And I just went live on my private timeline, or my personal timeline on Facebook, and nobody was showing up, and it was like, wait a minute, there's this whole group of people loving all this stuff, and this build up all week long to day 4, and getting on our feet with the plug and play cooking method. So now I'm in the proper place, hi NSU, and we are going to rock and roll today from my friend Kelly's kitchen here in Wilmington, North Carolina, where I'm going to show you 3 different ways to plug and play and cook 3 from scratch pieces of the plug and play method for you on camera right here. I'm a little bit nervous. I usually only make 1 plug and play meal at a time. So let's see how I do. And I'm going to pull together this whole concept for you that we've been talking about all week long. This way to liberate yourself from the what's for dinner, I didn't eat lunch, I'm starving and I have all these veggies in the fridge and I didn't prep anything and spend 5 hours in the kitchen on Sunday. We've dispelled all of that because this method, this plug and play method, is your method for easy, fast, real food at your fingertips. I did a 6-minute plug and play yesterday, and I'm going to show you 3 different examples today so you can get empowered, you can get excited, and you can get some new awesome ideas. We've got veggies galore today, and I've got Lily behind the camera monitoring your comments and questions. Hi, Lily.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
She's going to eat the food with me too at the end.
So excited.
And please do chime in. Let me know your questions. Lily will bring them to the forefront, and we're going to have some fun. Are you ready? Let's be ready. We have a lot of cooking to do. So, first things first. Just want to review real quick what we talked about yesterday. For plug and play to work, you want a base, and I've got 3 different bases to show you today. You want a veggie component. We've got like 6 different veggies to play with. You want a protein, and that can be plant or animal. Then you want some raw, fun sprinkle on veggies at the end, and of course, toppings. I've got dips and dollops galore. That's an important part of the plug and play equation for the juiciness, for the, not just eating a dry salad feeling. And we're gonna get a lot of flavor going on in these 3 different concoctions. And I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I'm sweating. This is good. Okay, which one do I want to start with? I think I want to start with meatballs. I know, Lily, the vegan, her eyebrows just shot up. No. Meatballs. So because they have to cook a little bit, I want to mix them up and show you the base that I've got already cooking in the air fryer. So come on over to the air fryer. We've got a gorgeous veggie station here we'll be coming back to. I'm going to show you how to use the spiralizer since so many of you had questions about that. But for right now, my featured appliance, and you do not have to own one in order to plug and play, but oh my gosh, it makes things really easy, is the air fryer. I have 1 base already cooking away in here. For our Asian bowl, come take a peek at this one, Lily.
Wow.
These are acorn squash bowls, right? All that I did was hack an acorn squash in half, put some oil and some salt. You could certainly put some seasonings. I like to put garam masala or curry powder on it just to give the squash some flavor, but acorn squash is sweet, it's delicious, and look, it's already a bowl. That's a brilliant little base that we've got going on in there that we're gonna build some Asian flavors with today. And Lily, I'm gonna keep the meatballs on the side, and all 3 dishes are going to be vegan, you guys, because there's a lot of ways to cook meat, and meat is readily available. I find that a lot of people don't know how to cook as many veggies, so we're gonna be super veggie focused today, and no grains, 1 pseudo grain. So it's a fun challenge for us, and we're talking high nutrients, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to make some meatballs as like an optional quick side. In my house, my kids like meatballs. It's a kid-friendly kind of food. Make them mini meatballs if you want to. Sure, you can do meatloaf. That takes longer to cook in the oven, and then I find when you put like a hunk of loaf on the plate, some adults like that comfort food feeling, but something about meatballs is just kind of fun and light. So in the cookbook, the New School Body recipe cookbook that I've been giving out all week long is an Asian meatball recipe. That's the one I'm making up for you today. And the reason I love this meatball recipe is because it's egg-free. A lot of people are egg sensitive these days. If you have Epstein-Barr or virus in your body, there's a chance that egg could be feeding that, and so that's why some people just get really nauseous and feel bad when they eat egg. Egg-free and grain-free. A lot of meatball recipes will call for breadcrumbs, right? And if you're cutting out bread, fine, use a little bit, that's fine as a binder. You can use oats really nicely to soak it up if you want an intact grain. You can even use some cooked quinoa, which I might need to do if we need a binder in this meatloaf. But I've got a pound of meat, use less. We'll have lots of leftovers to leave Kelly for her kids and her family possibly. And I'm gonna grab a spoon and we're gonna keep this super simple. I've got coconut aminos to give it some Asian flavor and super yummy secret ingredient that should be in every fridge. Do you have this in your toasted sesame oil, Lily?
Sometimes I do.
Oh my gosh, yep.
I always have coconut aminos.
You do? They
Yes.
have such good flavor and sweetness. I find that it's sweeter than soy sauce. You may want to compensate with a little more salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey
Yeah.
Ross says she's making meatballs for dinner this
Oh,
evening.
yay! What kind? What's in them? Thank you for being here. Oh, I did it! I got it! Whoo, Trader Joe's and your crazy caps. So toasted sesame oil, a little goes a long way. I might have actually done a teeny bit too much. This is what you put at the end of fried rice that just gives it that like, oh my gosh, what is in this? Why is this so good? Flavor, secret weapon in your refrigerator. Some diced green onions, some fresh ginger, some fresh garlic. There's so much that can be added to this. I'm gonna keep this really simple today, just to prove to you that you don't need to go too crazy. Yeah, I could definitely use more, and I probably could have used half the meat. But guys, I talk out loud and I do flawed things on camera to let you know, first of all, this is such an imperfect game, right? We're late, we're tired, we're hungry. There's a million different reasons why we don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. And I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen either. And sometimes I make a recipe and I'm like, oh, that would have been better if. But guess what? That's how you learn. That's how you become a better cook. That's how you become more confident and intuitive in the kitchen. We were just talking about how you have to spend 10,000 hours at something to be considered a master at it. Like, how many hours do you think you've spent real food cooking? Like real food cooking. Only single ingredient source from nature you pull together yourself at home, right? I don't know. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, maybe even longer. I don't know if I've been doing 10,000 hours, but it's all about the practice, right? If you do yoga, you practice mindfulness, you understand it's all a practice. People say to me, well, I tried to meditate and it didn't work, right? Or I tried to cook and like, I'm not good. Well, that's because you gotta practice. So I'm right here in the practice with you. I'm gonna get some salt to put in these. Right here, real salt, anybody? Are you using this in your kitchen? I love this stuff. I don't know why. I do think different salts have different flavors. They're salt tasting bars, so they must. They're gonna be some salty meatballs. Salty balls, guys. And we've got some flavor mixed up with this meat. So if I wanted to break it up, I could put egg if you can tolerate it, or some oats, but that's our meatball waiting to go in the air fryer when that squash is done. We've got it prepped and it's ready to rock. I use the word prep, right? You could prep those meatballs in advance if you wanted to. Let's head over to the sink real quick so I can wash my hands and see if anybody's here hanging out. Do we have anyone online?
Yes, we have 10 here with us. We have Nancy and Catherine, Corey.
Great. Thank you, ladies, for being
have
here.
Jean and Marcia.
Oh, we have a nice crowd.
Yeah.
Amazing. Some members, some non-members. So the reason today is special to me too, not just doing this demo, I am opening the cart on my group program transformation. And that's my big announcement for today. That's my big share. Every day of this program, I've had something to share with you, a PDF, an external resource. I want you to go to www.thenewschoolkitchen.com/ is that a / this way? The most common slash, yes, transformation, just the word transformation. And all of the details of that group program, the doors that close on Tuesday the 11th, are laid out for you on that page. That's why I've been doing all this fun stuff. That's why I've been hanging out with you guys, teaching you the habits that you need to get under your belt in order to be successful in transformation. So check it out, and also stay and hang out and do this cooking demo with me. Share it with your friends or anybody you think might be interested, and I would love to have you. Anyone that's expressed an interest in the work that we're doing this week, getting more consistent with clean eats and liquid gold, the combination of those two with the mindset work, having that support of a coach, right? Having me challenge you, having me ask you questions, that's what the transformation container is really about. Looking forward to talking more about it with you. For now, let's get back to the cooking part, shall we? while we're over here, let's take a look at our little dips, dollops, and dressing station. Yes, we have lots of fun stuff, and I think I might put some of this ginger in the meatballs. That will add really good flavor. I'm going to mix up a really quick Asian flavored dressing for you. Yes, got a knife right here. Good. Lime. I think lime is just like the, I don't know, the step cousin to the lemon that doesn't get nearly enough attention or play. I love lime. How do you feel about lime?
I love it so much. I put it in so many things.
Really?
Yes, I really do.
I think I use it more than lemon because it has just more of a complex flavor to me. And in a dressing especially, it's just like instant winner. Oh, our acorn squash bowls may or may not be done. The thing with the air fryer, you gotta check stuff. It can burn really easily. If you're new to the air fryer, it's convection heat. So fast and hot and dry heat that moves around quickly, and that's why the air fryer is so dang amazing. But it also can be a machine to burn things. Okay, so I'm going with 2 limes in this dressing. This is the ginger lime dressing that is also in your Real Food Recipe ebook. If somebody can go, Lily's usually my link dropper, but today she's my phone holder. So if someone can go in one of the units, you guys please be using the unit tabs in this group. All of that stuff will disappear on Tuesday as well when the doors to transformation close. And grab the link for the Real Food Recipe ebook for anybody that hasn't seen this gorgeous recipe. It's lime, tahini. Tahini is just ground up sesame seeds, and it's another secret weapon ingredient in the kitchen that for dressings especially, it's a little bitter on its own. I wouldn't use it like peanut butter necessarily, right? But for dressings, it adds creaminess, it adds flavor, it adds protein, 6 grams of protein per 2 tablespoons, and I just used 3. Raw honey today. You can also use maple syrup. That's what the recipe calls for. I just thought for Asian flavors, it's nice to have that lovely sweetness of honey. Oh, this is gonna be good. Honey, and then again with the coconut aminos. This is such a fast dressing, you guys, and it's one of those ones that you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to drizzle it on everything. I make this one regularly. And say about a tablespoon of ground ginger. Take a look at this, Lily.
All right.
Looks like almost looks like a peanut sauce from the tahini. You can whisk it. You can throw the whole thing in the blender if you just have a chunk of ginger and you don't want to grate it. But honestly, I love a dressing. Oh, and it's a little bit thick. I'm gonna add some RO water. Thin it out a teeny bit. This one's gonna be drizzled on the acorn squash bowl. And then as we put that olive oil in, gonna whisk, probably stand up a little more. Could you guys see yourselves making, thank you Lily, a dressing like this? Oh my gosh, you're gonna like that.
I'm excited.
The tahini's got that nuttiness up top, and then there's the sweetness and the saltiness. The brilliance of Asian foods, guys, really is that they hit all the notes, right? Sweet, salty, sour, creamy. That's not a flavor, but it's part of the tahini equation. Okay, let's go back to the air fryer. We're gonna check on these acorn squash bowls. Oh my gosh, look at this. Yes, these are definitely done. These were in here probably 15, 16 minutes. If you were baking them in the oven, oh my gosh, they're so good. If you were baking them in the oven, that would have been a 20 or 30 minute situation. Yeah.
Yum.
Can you see yourself making those? You can bake them. You don't need the air fryer. Everything the oven does, the air fryer does, and vice versa. You're just saving time, and a lot of times with the fryer, you're building texture. Okay, I just put the rest of that ginger in this meatball mixture, and I'm just gonna throw a couple of these bad boys. I'm the only one eating the meat today. A ice cream scooper actually works really well for meatballs. Let's make them a little bit smaller so they cook quickly, and we're putting them right on the grates of the air fryer. Are you guys air fryer users? Is this happening in your home? Anybody have any comments or questions so far about what's happening?
Well, Corey says she eats tahini every day in some way.
No way! How are you using it, Corey?
Lots of compliments on the kitchen, Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, everybody likes your kitchen. Yeah, serious counter space. Really nice to cook in here. Lots of cabinet space too. Okay, let's just do 4 of these because I'm gonna set it about 375, 380. Let's go about 12 minutes. Yes, it can be that fast. Let's go wash my hands again. Okay, lots of tahini. That's just one of our dressings. I actually made my favorite dressing last night. It is, my members know, I'm borderline obsessed with chimichurri. Chimichurri. So this is just cilantro. Now in Argentina, chimichurri is a parsley-based sauce. Parsley, olive oil, lemon. They put a little bit of oregano and something hot in there too. And then this is left out on the table as a condiment, and it kind of just ferments there. Used a lot on steaks and meats. There's a lot of grilled meats and vegetables in that culture, and then you would put your chimichurri right at the table on the grilled meats and veggies. I choose to do it with a cilantro base. If you're one of those people who doesn't taste soap when they taste cilantro, make it parsley if you don't like cilantro, and it's just so simple. Cilantro, garlic, olive oil, and lemon. That's it. You can add some crushed red pepper or some dried oregano to give it a little more complexity, but the more I've made this over the years, the more I just bam, 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 throw it all in the blender, hit blend, put it in a container, and oh my gosh, instant flavor all week long. I'm gonna put this on a saka pizza today for us, and that will be next. Also, there's no shame in buying some of your dips, dollops, and dressings if you feel good about the ingredients. I bought this organic hummus at Trader Joe's. Typically the problem I have with hummus is that they'll use a lot of refined oils in it, right? Canola oil and such. We've got sunflower oil in here. Could be worse, not bad, and it is organic. They've also blended in some olive oil. So it's only got 7 ingredients and no preservatives. Sure, why not? This will be one of our dips, dollops, and dressings for today. And don't forget, a creamy avocado can also serve the purpose of that triple D category when you're building out your plug and play. Okay, who's ever made saka? Come with me to saka over here, my friends, because if you're not making saka on a regular basis, you are seriously missing out on one of my favorite real food bases, right? Remember, we're talking about plug and play here today. We're not pulling together a gourmet recipe. We are taking individual components and piling them up stacked. Bottom base here, garbanzo bean flour. That's it. Last night, I took a cup of this and I mixed it with a cup of lukewarm filtered water, and I put it in a mason jar and I left it out. It's not fermenting overnight, about 12 hours. It's just forming a creamy batter, basically, to throw in a hot cast iron skillet. Smells good. Sometimes you want to sniff these things if you've left them out on the counter all night long. And we're going to add to this. This is the biggest problem with a big kitchen. I usually have all my stuff centered, thanks Lily. Before you put the saka in the oven in your hot-ass cast iron skillet, which I'll just show you in a minute, you want to add a high-quality extra virgin olive oil, about 2 tablespoons to the batter. This is really going to emulsify it and give it a creaminess when you're biting into that pizza. And then a decent amount of salt. Batters absorb salt really well. It's like salting any starchy carbohydrate like potatoes or rice or oats. You've got to salt it. Okay. That's our saka batter. It's a little bit thinner than I'm used to. I may have used too much water last night, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so my oven is at 450 degrees. When you're making pizza, right, if you go to a pizza joint, wood-fired ovens, how hot are those? I don't know, probably like 600 degrees or something. Hot. You want a super hot, smoking hot cast iron skillet. I preheated this oven about 20 minutes ago, and I put this cast iron skillet in the oven to get smoking hot. It's good. It could probably be even a little hotter, but we're going to go with it. And you just want to coat the bottom with a little bit of a higher smoke point oil. Avocado oil is good for this. Move it around the skillet. Does anybody make saka who's on? Talk to us, ladies. This is such a fun Lily, have you ever done saka?
I haven't, and Allie says she's excited to make it.
Oh my gosh, it's
just got
life-changing.
chickpea flour.
Both of my kids eat it. My 11-year-old
Yeah.
and my 3-year-old will eat it.
Never tried it.
Great accompaniment to soup or salad instead of bread, and it's loaded with protein. Lily, I think, there's like 14 to 16 grams of protein in one saka pizza, right? Garbanzo beans, great source of protein. This whole bag is $2.99. I can make 4 sakas from this, you guys. So crazy budget friendly. Come take a look at this. Pour your hot batter. Come see, Lily. We've got sizzles happening around the edge there. We put the hot batter, the cold batter in the hot pan, and it goes right in the oven. This is flatbread, guys. You really want I developed this recipe with a 10¼ inch cast iron skillet. That's the classic skillet size. A lot of people do have that skillet. That exact skillet is $19.99 at a hardware store. There's no excuse not to have an awesome cast iron skillet if you want to make saka and build texture on other foods you're making. Okay, I'm gonna set a timer. You definitely gotta set a timer with saka. About 11 minutes. Okay, we're gonna start. 11 minutes for that chickpea batter to turn into flat bread that we will build upon. It's a gorgeous base. Okay, so saka is one of our bases. Acorn squash is another base. And I'm gonna take you to our third base here. The lovely, humble, inexpensive Southern specialty, collards. Collards. I was just selling my mom on collards last week, and she's like, "No, I don't think I like collards." And it's like, okay, would you want to, if I put a bunch of really yummy stuff inside of it and wrapped it up, do you think you'd try it? And she hates to cook, so she's like, "Are you making it?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "I will try collards." So you want to get yourself some collard leaves. Now sometimes, right, a collard leaf can be like this big. This is a pretty good size for wrapping. The thing about collards, when I'm cooking them, when I'm making collard ribbons, awesome recipe inside of your ebook as well, I do de-stem them. I take this thick stem out to cook them quickly in a skillet. For the purposes of a wrap, we want as much surface area as possible, so if you come in here, Lily, I'll show you. Just run your knife. It's so hard to do things for a camera. This isn't how it is when you don't have cameras in your face, you know what? Or you just rip it off. See? No more thick stem. Normally you would, there we go. Just shave that stem down a little bit so there's a little less of a crunch. We're gonna keep these raw. We're living on the edge. If you Google collard wraps, there's all sorts of methods for, putting them in a shallow pan with boiling water for a minute and pulling them out and letting them cool, blanching them quickly. I think Lily and I are hardcore enough to handle some raw collards today. What do you think, Lily?
I can handle it.
She can handle raw collards. If you were like a little bit like, seriously, Rye, I'm wrapping up my food in this green bitter thing, just steam it for a second or drop it in some boiling water and pull it out. It will cut through a lot of that bitterness and soften it up for easier wrapping. Collard is just one option though at the bottom, guys. Remember, we talked about tortillas. You can get store-bought grain-free or gluten-free tortillas if that's your jam. And I do have a plantain tortilla recipe on the website. If anybody wants to pull that up, that is stellar. Baked in the oven, pulls together really fast, and they're a little bit sweet, which makes them just decadent. So we're gonna go with straight up, hardcore, wrap them up, collard ribbons for our third base today. So you catching a theme here? We've got a starchy bowl, we've got a flatbread pizza, and we've got a wrap. 3 different ways to start out your plug and play concoctions. Let's take this leaf off. That will give you oodles of options in your own kitchen. Ooh, I'm just gonna rip it off, just like the last one. There we go. Okay, great. So here's our base. Now what is going in these collard wraps, Rye, you ask? We have lots of veggies to choose from today, but you guys were so curious. I got so many messages about the spiralizer. Where is it? Where do I get it? How do I use it? Do you have one, Lily?
I do not.
You do not?
I don't.
To me, it's just, some people will say it's just like having pasta. That's totally a lie. This is not like having pasta. Pasta is pasta. But if you want to get some variety with your veggies and change up the mouth feel, it's all about texture for me. I love zucchini and I can chop it up and throw it in the air fryer or saute it in a skillet all day long. But also, I can get kind of bored with that. I don't know. Do you get kind of bored with that? Zucchini is one of my yes foods, and since my list is so small, variety of the way I prepare it has become really important to me. So for this $22, $23 spiralizer, I posted the link yesterday. They have all these great nifty blades that you pop in. You can choose what size noodles you want to come out. They can be noodle shaped, or they can be really, really wide and flat. You can spiralize an apple, for example. I'm just going to use a skinny little noodle option today because we're eating our veggies raw. This is our completely raw, collard wrapped, nothing cooked, super high in nutrients and fiber today. So pop each end together, you push it in, and actually if you come on this side, Lily, you'll see the magic take place as we put this over here. Is a suction. Turn the crank. Come on, zucchini. Only when you're on camera do these things happen. Turn the crank. Let's go the other way.
It's working, right?
No. I'll try another blade in a second. Oh! That's a new blade. Okay, that's a new blade. I think it still has a cover on it. Let's try, this one. There was still like a sticker coating on that one. All right, we can do this, zucchini. I believe in you. I believe. There we go. It wasn't me. It was a sticker. So, hello, like fun, spirally magic. I do not bring this thing out several times a week. This is purely a prep ahead contraption for me because you see these spirals in the grocery store, don't you? They're everywhere now in all of the prepared food sections. Sweet potato noodles, zucchini noodles, butternut squash noodles. I find that they just are kind of watery and weird from the grocery store, but they hold up really beautifully at home about 3 days in the fridge. So pre-spiralized. This should suction. That's supposed to make it easier. Should have taken the time to do that at the beginning. Pre-spiralize, put them in a little glass dish. Put a little paper towel in there if you need it to absorb some of the wet. Look how pretty this is. I don't have a bowl. I'm gonna grab one. And this is zoodles or zucchini noodles. A lot of people will cook these. They'll saute them real fast in a skillet. I think that makes them watery and weird and not good. I think zucchini noodles are amazing raw. They have a little bit of crunch to them. Get some of that chimichurri and toss that on it. Put a poached egg with it and you've got a really quick, easy, nutrient-dense side dish. Okay, meatballs, we'll come check on you now. That was 12 minutes. OMG. Take a look at I know, isn't that impressive? Crispy on the outside. I can push on them. If you cooked meat for a while, you know that there's a certain lack of give that you're looking for when it comes to making sure it's not raw in the middle, or you can just cut it open. I'm gonna give these about 1 more minute on a slightly lower heat.
We've had some questions about what do you do if you don't have an air fryer?
All of the things I'm making in the air fryer today, and there's only 2, meatballs and acorn squash bowls, are absolutely doable in your oven. So I typically roast and cook around between 375 and 425. The recipes for both of these should be in the ebook. The acorn squash might not be, but I can post that one separately. And you just gotta watch them, just like with the air fryer. People get real caught up on it. How long exactly and what exact temperature? Every acorn squash is a different size. Every meatball you're gonna make is a different size. Every oven runs hot, every oven runs cooler. Again, this is how you become more confident and intuitive. The meatballs can also be done stovetop if you wanna fry them up in some avocado oil or higher smoke point oil. It can be a little messy though. My grandma used to do it that way and there would be splatter everywhere. Air fryer keeps it so clean, or right on a cookie sheet in the oven, no problem. They will come out just as delicious. Answer your question? Good. Any others? While I get our next veggie ready for the next...
That was the biggest question.
That was the biggest question.
Marsha
Okay,
loves
good.
chimichurri.
Oh, yay, Marsha.
Everyone's excited about succa.
Oh, yeah. We're watching 2 minutes and 36 seconds left on the succa. Hey, and let's get a time check from somebody. What time is it, Mr. Fox? Remember that game?
I'm gonna zoom out and check the time. Ready?
Good job, Lily.
Fry shrinking.
She's multitasking over here.
Okay, it's 12:37.
Oh, great. We're doing really good. As long as I start plating around 12:45. Okay, so I just put a golden beet in the spiralizer. Don't be afraid to get close, Lily. People like to see a little bit of, yeah, look at how pretty that is. I'm kind of obsessed with how good the golden beets come out. They're much
pretty.
easier to spiralize. They're harder veggie. Apples come out really beautifully, you guys. Carrots work really well in the spiralizer. Now, be careful putting something like that on a plate, right? You do have teeth to bite through it, but it's also nice for your eating guests to chop it up just a little bit. Beets, if you like them, are an incredible source of iron, minerals, nutrients, and I also eat these raw, especially the golden beet. It's got a lot of crunch to it, so some of you may be a little like turned off by that. Choose a softer veggie then to use. It's earthy. It's delicious. We're gonna put creamy hummus with this, and you know what? I might even toss this. Let's put a little bit of chimichurri on it. I can't help myself. We'll dress it up with just a little bit of this goodness. Let it sit for a minute. I mean, you could just put some protein and some sprinkles. This could be your base, you guys, right
So
here.
pretty.
Do you see that? I know, it's lovely. Pardon my hands. I did wash them twice. Toss your delicious spiralized, colorful veggies with that chimney. Oh my gosh, I smell that cilantro.
Yep, smells so good.
Do you smell it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the fresh garlic. Great. Okay, I'm gonna just set that aside and grab a dish towel. I really wish you could all be here to taste this. Okay, so Saka's got 26 seconds. It's actually not done. In 26 seconds, we'll be ready to put it under the broiler. So, Saka's actually originates in the south of France in Nice, Nice, and it's a street food. It's like New York City hot dogs. It's they have some sort of cart and some sort of way to have really hot fire, and it's actually just open coal fire, and there are these big copper pans, and they put the Saka batter on it, and crazy high heat make you a crepe, essentially. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Okay, so take a look at this. Let's see, broil, high, start. So it's still kind of soft in the middle, which is what we want as the street food in France. It's almost like goopy and raw in the middle, but really, really cooked, like fire cooked on the outside. And in France, they take it and chop it up right in front of you, drizzle it with more olive oil and salt, and throw it in a paper cup. And you just eat the chickpea pancake as your street food. Does that sound so good? Don't you just want to go to Europe and eat chickpea pancakes out of the off the streets? Okay, so broiler's now on high, and I'm going to spend 1 to 2 minutes carefully broiling the top of this Saka so it can brown. I'm going to put the timer back on. I'm going to live on the edge and try 2 minutes. Maybe I'll crack this because I'm a little bit nervous, and we're going to move on. Not something that's going to take too much time. Let's put our acorn squash bowls on a plate and take those meatballs out. Come on back over here. Ooh, the timing was good.
Okay, I know we've had questions about air fryer versus oven. What about convection oven? We
Yeah,
had a question about that.
Just what about it? Like, is it a good?
Can you cook in a convection oven?
Yes. So any of these recipes that we're talking about for the air fryer or the oven are perfect for a convection oven. It's going to act just like the air fryer, really. That's all that an air fryer is. Everyone thinks this is a new invention. They've repackaged it. It's no longer an oven, like countertop convection oven or a convection setting. Some of you might have a convection setting on your oven. Check it. It indicates the way the heat circulates around the food and cooks it faster typically, and it can impart more texture, but it can also dry it out and burn it. So be careful, convection has a learning curve. You can absolutely use one. There's some great stovetop convection ovens out there. Okay, so hello, acorn squash bowls. Hello, lover. Look, we could even put this in there if we wanted to, the beauty of plug and play, but we're not going to. We're going to use quinoa, actually. Lily cooked us up some beautiful quinoa here. Just plain, right? Quinoa, water, salt, Lily?
I just plain, totally plain.
Totally plain. So we can add a little bit of salt to it. We can add a little bit of seasoning to it. I actually think as my next veggie in here, I'm gonna put a little purple cabbage. Look how pretty. I always buy the purple. I do like the green. I feel like it gets a little sweeter, but come on, you cannot argue with the prettiness of that. Our protein is quinoa here. This could be black beans. This could be chicken. Oh, is that it already? 2 minutes? OMG. Let's get it so it doesn't burn. Oh yes, just what you want from a gorgeous sucka. Look at that. Great. Now, at home, on my wooden cutting board, I would just go bam. Don't want to break something on Kelly's gorgeous cutting board, which I will move over here to our sprinkle-on station. I might, though, bang it right on the side here. Let's put it on something so we don't put a dent in her brand new wood butcher block countertop. Socket can be a little tricky to get out, hopefully. I borrowed this cast iron skillet. Mine at home is really super seasoned. Okay, and I'm just gonna, it's stuck. Oh, see, this is why. This is why I do it live. So you can see that I'm imperfect and it's not gonna stop me and it's not gonna get in my head. This is really a mind game, you guys. Let's see, maybe a spatula. Something to
Maybe over there in the container?
Yes, good call, Lily. We're gonna get under that sucka. Maybe we even cut it out of, I think we can do it. Going around it. So what was I saying? This is a mindset game, right?
Yep.
A lot of times when this kind of stuff happens, what happens, right? We're discouraged. I can't do this. It was a mess. It took me forever to clean out that pan. Ugh, Sokka's so annoying. Sometimes this happens to me at home, and then it's just like how it is with the street food. Just like rip it up into pieces. Let's do this. Let's take this half out. Rip it up into pieces. Finish it off. Oh, this is gonna be good. So soft in the middle. Crispy on the bottom. Look at the brown. You definitely want the brown. Could even have gone a little bit more. And then, just like they do in Nice, a little more olive oil, a little more salt. Done. Lily's eyes are like, okay.
So hungry.
I'll have some olive oil and salt. All right, so we're getting to the part where we're going to plate all of our delicious food. So let's bring this together here. I'm going to cut this sucker in half so Lily and I can each have a piece. This is really fun party food, you guys. You know, at those kind of casual parties with friends where everyone's just in the kitchen with you anyway, and say like, let's whip up some sucka. You do want to let the batter sit at least 20 minutes. I did it overnight. I find that improves the texture, but you can whip it up when people get to your house, set it on the counter while that oven preheats to 450, and then when it's done, oh my God, and then when it's done, put it right on the counter. We cut it with a pizza cutter. We put it on a wooden cutting board, cut it with a pizza cutter, and I put it right in the middle of the table, and my kids just grab at it and go. So we've got our sucka, and oh my gosh, so many options. Let's bring everything over here to plate. All right, we've got our sprinkle-ons. We've got our veggies. We've got some lettuce. We have our tahini. Is anybody inspired yet? Okay, let's finish up the acorn squash bowls. So we had our base was squash. We had our veggie was purple cabbage. We could have dressed that purple cabbage to give it a little bit more flavor. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
Are you hungry?
Dying over here.
About 10 minutes, I'll feed you, girl, I promise. That's Kelly, this is her kitchen. She gets all the samples when we're done. So acorn squash, quinoa is the protein, and I don't know, this is an Asian squash bowl, so what about some chopped celery as our raw, and our tahini ginger lime dressing. We're gonna do a lot of that on here. because that cabbage doesn't have anything on it. And then how about some, ooh, let's do some more raw veggies on this one. How about some sliced radishes? Remember I was saying yesterday radishes are underappreciated. These could be diced too, but hello color, right? A little bit of pretty color on there. Great. How about some sprinkle on of toasted pepitas? I've never made this before. This is just, I'm at the store. These are the sprinkle-ons that look good. You could also chop up some pretty cherry tomatoes. No, I'm not gonna do tomatoes, that doesn't go. We're gonna put that on the saka. And pretty, what about some microgreens? Okay, not a planned meal. We're gonna put it on the counter over here, so we'll have our 3 finished meals to peek at. But what do you think? Would you guys eat that one? Meal number 1? Acorn squash Asian bowl. Oh, and I forgot. Let me get it again, because on my acorn squash, I would have I'll put them on the side, for me, 2 little turkey meatballs. Right, over here with this little one. We'll give that one to Lily. Right, so protein, right? Do you have a husband who eats meat and you don't? Plug and Play solves that problem, I promised you. I know y'all know what I mean. Does somebody have a food sensitivity, but other people love that food? Plug and Play is your answer. Okay, next, let's make a saka salad pizza. So when I was younger, I would go to this pizza place and my family would all get New York style. I mean, this was New York, like New York style big slices of pizza. And I was the weird little 8-year-old that would order salad pizza. Has anybody ever had salad pizza? Kelly's like, that is weird. Yes! No, it's so good.
So good.
So dressed lettuce, you would put on top of your pizza. Now this isn't dressed, but this is some butter lettuce. I really like butter. It's that like soft, tender lettuce. Like there's some red cabbage in there too. Just gonna put butter lettuce on top of that. And then our dressing is gonna be chimichurri for this. That's our dip and dollop. And our lettuce dressing. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be good, guys, isn't it? And then, what am I gonna put on here? This is where the tomatoes belong, correct? Yes, on the pizza. It's gonna be red, it's gonna be pretty. If they had been more time, I would have pre-sliced them really thin. Does anybody have any questions? Comments?
Looks delicious.
Okay, and my sprinkle on. Now remember my
Comment
base,
saying it's delicious.
the saka is also my protein. So you could have added some more protein to this if you wanted to, but it really doesn't need it. Chickpeas have plenty of protein. I'm just gonna use a little bit of nutritional yeast at the top. There was always Parmesan cheese on the top of my salad pizza. So that's my sprinkle on for this one. And voila, saka pizza. Dish number 2 from the Plug and Play masterpiece equation. We still have so many veggies to use. Now this will be our veggie-rific one. Collard wraps. We're gonna take our spiralized beets and zucchini right down the middle. I love these. I guess we can wrap them this way. Yeah, we'll wrap them that way. So, spiralized yumminess. Let's take some of these bell peppers for color and texture and flavor right down the middle there too. I love the crunch of pine nuts. Sometimes they're called pinoli nuts in this wrap. And then of course our triple D, dip, dollop, or dressing. We've already agreed sometimes it's okay to get this one at the store. Let's put hummus. This could also be slices of avocado. That would be really good. A little bit or a lot of hummus. And then, yeah, some fresh herbs. We could go with the microgreens again if there's not already too much veggie happening in this situation. And then look, just like a burrito, you want to pull it over as tight as you can, fold in the edges as you, I like to only fold in one end. Roll it up. These work really well with a toothpick in them. You would seal it up, pile them up on a plate, cut it down the middle, and show off what's on the inside. Let's do that actually for this one. cut it down the middle. Flip it open. Look at that.
Little wrap.
How cute is that? I'm not gonna do the other one because I know we're short on time. Come on over, let's show off the finished 3 dishes here. So in under an hour, you guys, I just pulled together 3 different meals. There's still a crap ton of ingredients over there. So this is not all that is available. The rest of that can go in the fridge. The rest of that can be tomorrow's lunch. The rest of that will go to feed Kelly, and we'll feed Lily, and I'm going to eat. But I think this one's the most impressive situation over here. The acorn squash bowls with red cabbage, quinoa, ginger lime tahini dressing, and fun plug and play veggies. And then we have succa salad pizza here. Totally light and delicious lunch, a really good summery kind of dinner too. We do that a lot in summer. And then spiralized collard veggie wraps with hummus. We've got so many vegetables on these 3 plates here. You can add meat, you can add rice, you can add grains, but what we're talking about today with Plug and Play is nutrient density. This is what's gonna heal your body. This is what's gonna help you lose weight. This is what's gonna help give you the energy you need to get through a day so you can do what you're supposed to do here and stop freaking out and trying to figure out how to get consistent with real foods. Plug and Play is the way to do it. And just remember, gotta prep, plan. We talked about this in Monday, gotta plan, gotta hit the grocery store. I did go to 3 different grocery stores to get what I wanted for these things. You could probably get it at one. Then you gotta prep a little bit, right? And I prepped some today. I mean, the quinoa was pre-made. I started these squash bowls. I made up the sacco last night. I did chimichurri last night, but probably 20 to 30 minutes in the kitchen last night and 30 minutes prepping before we went live got us 3 different meals here so that when you show up to cook, you're not starting from scratch every single time you come into the kitchen. So what do you think? Can you do this? Can you get on your feet in your kitchen, put on some comfy clothes, put on some nice music or a podcast, make sure the kitchen is ready for you to rock and roll, and do this thing. Get in a place of action. We said this yesterday, action cures fear every single time. The more you avoid, the more you hold back, the more you do this with your food stuff, the more that's going to happen. The more you get on your feet and just try something new, the more you're gonna get on your feet and eat really good food. Please take a look at the link for transformation, thenewschoolkitchen.com/transformation. I'll be sharing it over the next couple of days. I'll do a Q&A over the weekend. I've got some testimonials, including a transformation participant who's lost 50 pounds over the last year, eating real food, using Plug and Play, drinking liquid gold, and getting her mindset on point with coaching through the membership. She's gonna share her story. And then I have a special guest on Sunday, who I will not name, who will share his story, a loss of 40 pounds. And we're gonna just keep talking about how all of this real food goodness has a positive impact on you, on your family, and kind of on the whole world. Not to be dramatic, but my belief is that as we heal ourselves, we're healing a lot of the bigger problems that are happening in our world right now. So I hope you can get behind some of this, take what resonates, ditch what doesn't. Thank you for being here. We are far from done. Come back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm going to give you some coaching to pull all of it together from the whole week and deliver a couple more goodies to you before we wrap things up on Tuesday. Thank you for being here live. You guys are so fun. Any final comments or questions, Lily, or do we feel like everybody's just like, okay, I want to go into my kitchen now and
people are excited to get into
some
their kitchen
sacca.
for sacca. It's
Yes.
been a theme, and
Sacca,
the chimichurri,
great.
and yes. Catherine would like to know the ingredients of all of the meals we made. Maybe we can post those after.
The recipes for most of these, Catherine, are in the ebook. We will repost the link to that. And if they're not, we can post links to the New School Kitchen recipes on my blog because all of this is represented somewhere with slight variations, but that's part of the fun. So thank you for being here, Catherine. And everybody, get in your kitchen, have some fun, leave questions, participate, post pictures of your creations. Thanks, Kelly, for letting us use your kitchen.
Welcome.
Bye.